Gentlemen, Mr. Darnell Davis. Let's get into the Larry Reid of it all. Why did you leave Excelsior?
I left Excelsior just because it was just time for me to go.
Okay.
And I was cool with just kind of being in the background, playing the organ, doing the production. I would maybe be on the record, doing some stuff, But for the most part, I was cool with that. But I felt like it was just time to step out and move from the back to the front, And I just started Remnant, and we started doing stuff. And
can you let us in on just a little insight of what we can expect at this Excelsior reunion?
We're going back, and we're going to redo a song. We're going to redo an old song from the Soul Interpretation record. We're going to redo "It's My Time."
It's my time to eat a breast, because that's what I sing when I'm hungry.
Doing this live recording, I said it would be dope if we did a Excelsior reunion with the song, with this, and have Excelsior come back, because heads up, Excelsior is getting ready to do a reunion concert, possible live recording.
It's the lady that leads it. Is she going to be coming back to lead it again for this?
No, she won't be coming back to lead it.
Y'all had a fallout, and she's not welcome no more. Moving on.
No. It's not that we didn't have a fallout. We got 2 kids together. We ain't no fallout.
Hey, everybody, Facebook land. Oh, you know what? Let me let Anthony back in. Oh, you didn't leave. Found you on here. Oh, there we go. I see everybody. What's today? Happy Wednesday, Facebook family. I am here. I am your host. I am a PM of Anthony McGahee and Praise Motivated. And we are here to talk to choir masters, songwriters, and amazing artists. And also, most importantly, I think to highlight is that we are talking to some of Anthony's amazing friends and peers and people that have influenced him and people that are close to his heart. So I want to welcome to the stage. So I have lots of family in Minnesota. So all the way from Minneapolis, Minnesota, we have Mr. Darnell Davis. And I'm super excited. He is from the legendary choir that we all know, Excelsior. Super excited to get into some conversation with him on tonight. We also have Mr. Patrick Riddick. A lot of us know him from directing for Dr. Ricky Dillard and New G, as well as the Netflix series Voices of Fire. And so super excited to talk to him because we know that he can shake a tree. And then we have also from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Mr. Jamar Esau. And so we have somebody else that's going to join us as well. Another amazing songwriter and choir legend. And so I'm super excited to hop in. And we got about an hour, so y'all better pin your comments and get them in. But I'm super, super excited to just hop into this thing. And so, Anthony, actually today I'm going to let you start. And I'm just going to let you kind of open up on why each one of these individuals are special to you in their own way. And then we'll go into some of their biographies and all that good jazz.
Okay. Well, Darnell is special to me because of definitely his influence with Excelsior as a songwriter and a cultivator, and with as well as the Remnant. I've been such a fan of his writing and his music and their approach to things. We've worked together for years before we even really knew each other, because we're both coaching and working with the Midwest Regional Music Conference. We were intertwined, which leads me automatically to my brother Jamar. We connected because we were always working together as young people with the Midwest Regional Music Conference and stuff. So for the Church of God in Christ, we just grew up always singing around each other. And for he got a choir, I got a choir. It just was destined. So that's my brother. He's just really been he hits me up all the time and talk to me, good, bad, whatever he got to say. He come directly to me. He already know how you gonna do. This is what we do. And then my brother Pat, we've been knowing each other since I joined New G. I've been in New G almost 16, 17 years, and walking in the door, he was always nice to me, always kind to me. So, we just connected. Of course, I watched him with DW, just, getting them altos bark like they tenors, and just, I mean, he just got a way he got with choirs that it just does what it does. So they have all been great influences on me. So it was definitely such a surprise when because she didn't tell me who was going to be on tonight. She didn't tell me until today, and I don't like surprises because I like to stay in control of my emotions. So I had that all day to get all that stuff out that I needed to get out. So I'm good now.
Yeah, I figured it would not have been good if I would have just told you to come on camera. So, yes, yes, yes. So, Jamar, I'm super excited. Let's jump right in. Can you tell us, and I muted you, so whenever you're ready, you can come off mute. Can you tell us about your musical background, upbringing, influence? How did you get started in music? What did that look like?
Well, I am from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I was a part of Excelsior as a teen. I joined Excelsior, I think, at 16 years old, and I was with them for a few years under the leadership of Bobby Joe Champion and Darnell Davis. From there, I went to Darnell Davis and the Remnant. So I sang with Remnant for about 5 years through college, everything. We traveled the world, um, from East Coast to West Coast, and I learned so much under just Darnell's leadership. Musicality, is dynamics. I've also sang with James Greer and Company and James Greer and New Friends, so I learned. But between those two have been the foundation of my musical upbringing, as far as how you know, just how I approach choirs and vocals. I learned everything from those two individuals, James Greer and Darnell Davis. I left Minneapolis, I have a degree in graduate college, have a degree in marketing and master's in finance. I left Minneapolis and went to Indianapolis, where I was a director of music for a church called Eastern Star Church. I was there for about 4 years, and now I left there and went to Nashville, and now I'm in Nashville. I'm a member of Mount Zion Baptist Church, where the bishop is Bishop Joseph Walker. I have my own choir. We have been together for 16, no, 19 years.
Okay.
Been together 19 years. You mark your son, try for Christ. And we have now, we started in Minneapolis, and we started as the GMWA Youth Choir for the Minnesota chapter, and then we further from there went on to Jamar Eson Try for Christ. We've been together for again 19 years. We are one choir in 7 states in multiple cities. There are about 60 to 70 of us. We recently had a recording in 2022. That single should be out very, very soon. He's my rock. So that's just in short, that's who I am. I love to direct. I love music. And I love to support my people. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you so much. Go ahead. Can you read that comment that's on the screen? Can you see it?
No, wait.
It says,
You can pass over it. It's Ebony. Lord Jesus.
My favorite is definitely my favorite singer in PM is definitely um my connections felon. So okay.
it's gonna be
Thank
that
you.
type of night, twin. I try. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
absolutely appreciate that. Mr. Darnell Davis and Anthony, I hope I'm okay to say who he. Okay, so tell us a little bit about you, your musical background and upbringing. But super excited because you have written a song on this project that we're doing, and it's fire. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You can come up when you're ready.
Well, as you said, I'm from Minneapolis. I started out with a group actually called Minneapolis Gospel Sound. I know a lot of people probably don't know or remember this group, but there was a group called Minneapolis Gospel Sound. I started with them, which led me to Excelsior, and I was with Excelsior for probably about 13, maybe 14 years, and from there we started. After that, I started Remnant, and Remnant's been in existence for 20 years. We just celebrated last year, actually, 20 years. We had an amazing reunion concert, and it was great. So a lot of my influences come from, you know, the Tommies, Orlando Draper, Thomas Whitfield, Andre Crouch, the Hawkins. It's kind of a mesh of like all of that. And so yeah, I mean, I got my start in the Grand Old Church of God in Christ as a got my start in the Grand Old Church of God in Christ. I started playing organ one Sunday morning. I just sat down while they was shouting and dancing. I just sat down and started playing, and I've been playing ever since. And so so that's just a little bit about me, you know. I've written a few songs for a few little artists, you know, so I'm okay. For a few artists, you know.
Oh, we're definitely coming back to that.
so yeah.
Thank you so much. Mr. Riddick, how did you get your start? Your musical upbringing?
Oh my Lord, I got my start because my grandmother and my mother, they were choir singers and lead singers, and when that's what you grow up around, that's what you desire to be. So I always was playing their LPs, whether it was Benny Cummins, the Hawkins, Whitfield, or whoever. I'm putting on their choir robes. I'm pulling out my piano. I'm playing church. I'm singing. Those are my earliest memories. Of course, I was born Baptist, but in 1980, my mom, she joined the Church of God in Christ, and then I grew up Church of God in Christ. So now I'm in Memphis, I'm in UNAC, and I'm in all this stuff.
Yes.
Seeing everybody, and yeah, I served Bishop Thurgood, who was the adjutant general for the Church of God in Christ. I was his minister of music for 17 years. And that's really where things started to shift for me. Just being faithful in my church choir. Because of my church choir, DW was born. DW is celebrating 25 years this year. We just had our concert this Sunday. It was actually a session. The people didn't know it.
Wow.
But it was a session. And I've always admired Anthony McGahee, of course, and Jamar, and in particular Darnell. This was funny because we're on this call, and anybody knows me knows that Patrick is very candid, but it's hilarious because I'm on a call with people that I actually deal with. I actually rock with these guys, and I have a project where Darnell has written 2 songs on, and then there's another project I did where there's one of his songs on. I try not to do anything without something by him, because his work that he did with Excelsior and then going on to the Remnant, you cannot deny that there's just a sound that comes with him. And so while I was not favored to grow up in a city, the only national artist we had in my city at the time was a guy named Amos Davis and the Angelic Coaliers, and he was very popular in the 80s, but I came up having to learn from afar from what everybody else is doing across the country. So my major influences, of course, everybody knows, was Ricky Dillard and New G. Oh, New G, amen. Love Benny Cummins. There was a guy out of DC named Harvey Lewis that a lot of people don't talk about, but he's the guy from directing that Orlando Draper, Ricky Dillard, all of them. A lot of them watched Harvey Lewis and Bright Star Church of God in Christ out of DC. Love Triborough Mass, love Whitfield, love Hawkins. If you had a good thick choir, then you had my attention.
Okay. For sure. Thank you. So I'm gonna stay right here with you in advance, since we are on the road to the recording. Of course, we're talking about the recording, we're promoting and all of that. But how many live recordings have you facilitated, Patrick?
Woo! So let's see. Maybe 6.
6. Okay.
Yes.
So tell me what does it look like as a choir director, a choir master, a leader, a worship pastor, a MD, all of those things? What is the process? What goes into a live recording? Because I think people just see the finished product, so they don't see like the labor that goes. So what is like your process, or what has been your process?
If I must be honest, the first thing I would like to say is I actually prefer studio recordings.
Okay.
There's no pressure, which is why I didn't tell people that it was a session Sunday, because you just get an organic, good vibe in the room. You tell people recording, they're gonna come with that whole we staring at you like you're a television, and it's hard to work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I love studio recordings for that reason, and because studio recordings are cheaper. You just going in, you're doing it right then and there, and what you get is what you get. Versus a live recording, we're gonna go back and probably have to fix some stuff, you know, change some stuff, whatever. So what a lot of people got to understand is for a live recording, you're preparing a concert. But you're preparing a concert in a perfected manner because you're going to record it. And because you're recording it live, it costs so much money. So the first thing that all of us are worried about whenever we're doing live recording is the budget. The budget. If you don't have at least 20 to 25 grand starting off, it makes it very difficult. So that's the process, you know, aside from seeking writers and listening to the music and seeing what I want to do and seeing what I'm feeling and what I want to give to the people, excuse me, then I'm preparing to sing this. And then the third step is we're fundraising it. We're trying to figure out how we're going to do this. And I can imagine Anthony is probably experiencing what I'm experiencing because us African Americans, we're not very proactive, we're reactive. And so you can have tickets out like I did for 3 months. And up until last week, I only had 150 tickets sold. But then the day of, it's packed out and people still texting and calling, trying to, you know. So Anthony, be encouraged because that's just how we do. They will be there. But when we talk about putting on a live recording, a lot of times you can't even just concentrate on the music and enjoy that part because you're worried about how you're going to pay the bills.
Gotcha. Thank you. Darnell, how many live recordings have you facilitated?
Ooh. I can't even, I don't know. it's been I mean, it's thinking number wise, I don't know. It's been a lot. That's all I can say. I can't really.
What was the process? What does that look like?
He's the OG up here for real.
Gotcha. Okay, so tell us, what does that look like?
Well, I think as Patrick said, you know, of course you get your budget. You gotta solidify your MD. If you have any guests, you gotta solidify those things. Venues. It's a lot that goes into a recording before we actually hit the stage. And most people don't understand. I just made a post was it today or yesterday where I was talking about many people don't understand the struggle that it takes to do all of this. Most people see it and they want the stage, they want the fame, they want it, but they don't understand the work that actually goes into doing this. Putting on a live session is a lot. And as if you're the front person or if it's your session, you've got to find a way to allow your team to handle everything so that you can focus on, let me just focus on the artistry of it. And it's hard when you are a leader that you have your hands kind of in everything. And I mean, we want to make sure everything is right. So that's why you like, what's the ticket sales? I need to know what that number is because we're trying to figure out, make sure that we meet budgets, make sure we meet all of that before we even get up to perform. But then after that, but there's a process that comes after the live recording that most of us don't think about. See, we raise the money for the actual session, but then we don't come up with the money to push it, to promote it. So you gotta include in your budget not just the session piece, but you gotta put in the budget. What is it? How am I going to push it? How am I going to promote it? I need a PR. You got to think about PR. You got to think about radio. You got to think about all these different type of things. Social media marketing, all those different type of things are key. So doing the work also in budget. Don't just look at the actual night, but look at the post, everything that comes after that to help push it and promote it.
That's good. That's real good. Jamar. Okay, so I guess I probably shouldn't ask you a number, but can you tell us what your process has been?
Let's ask you about, I've been a part of 465 recordings. I have facilitated all of them.
There we
I'm
go.
sorry, 597 recordings.
There we
So
go.
I am the OG of this call. So I just want
I
everybody to know
can't
that.
deal. I can't deal. He's cutting up, cutting up.
And he's the
Um,
baby, literally.
I'm the baby, right? So what's your question again? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said all that. Come
No,
again.
I was just asking. Well, I asked how many live recordings have you facilitated, and then what was your process like with that?
Well, I have facilitated probably 3 or 4. Um, my processes were everywhere from the first couple. I'll talk about my last process, which was the best one. So Aaron Lewis, who is an amazing producer, he produced, and him and I kind of met, and we actually both co-produced the entire project, but he spearheaded everything. So um, I would first off say choose your MD wisely. Choose your MD wisely. Please choose your MD wisely. This last recording that I had, it was stress free. It was stress free. I mean, the budget and everything, that's always stress, but I'm talking about the actual production aspect. It was stress free because we knew exactly what we wanted. We met about the songs months in advance. We prayed about the songs. We made sure that any songs that were fillers or just we wanted to make sure that we had none of those on there. You know what I mean? We wanted to stick straight towards songs that have substance, that were all potential singles. We met about all of those things. Um, he sat there and made me write for the first time. I'm always an arranger, but Aaron said, no, you're going to actually write on this project. So he sat down and made me write a song, which was He's My Rock. So we've been doing just make sure that you solidify your producer. We did pre-production. That we did all of that, and we got all that stuff out months in advance. And we have to do that because I have singers in again 7 or 8 different states, multiple cities. So I didn't know how I was going to be able to get all of them that material.
Mm-hmm.
Or get to all of those cities and have rehearsals. But what we did pre-production, and we sent out the material. I put out a cover statement to my choir members. I said, when you get here on the week of the session, I need you all to make sure that you lock in. I'm not teaching much. I'm just running over. So I chose my producer. I chose my singers because I I just chose my singers, to say that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
chose the singers I wanted in the session, and they all came in the day of. They were locked in. We got there on that Wednesday. We rehearsed for an hour and a half. Um, and that's the only rehearsal we had together because they were locked in from the track that was sent out from our producer. So we did the pre-production. Um, got there the night of. It was an amazing session. Anthony was there. Darnell was there. It was an amazing session. Um, but I would like to just kind of say what they were saying as well. Just make sure it's the ticket sales. That was the most stressful thing.
Mm-hmm.
My ticket sales were around 200 to 300, and I was in the venue sat about, I think, seven
Gotcha.
or eight. Now the night of, that's when the ticket sales just exploded. So again, Anthony, be encouraged because the night of they're going to be there number one because you guys are Anthony McGahee and AMPM. So, but the night of, your ticket sales will explode. So that was my process. It went very well. Find your producer. Make sure that your singers are on the same mindset. Make sure that your singers are not there to be um, divas and stage hogs, mic hogs. You have to kind of denounce all of that up front. So, but yeah,
You talking good. You talking real good.
that was my that was the way that we went. So even
Thank
even the night of, we had a few divas that I had to kind of check.
you. Had to get the people together.
Actually, about an hour before I walked out, had to kind of get some of the singers together. And my thing is, I watched Patrick, I watched Darnell, and when it comes to dealing with us,
Mm-hmm.
you can't play with them because if you literally if you give them an inch, they'll take 12 miles.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have to make sure that all that stuff is in check so you can focus on the day of your recording. So
Thank you. Thank you so much. Founder, what has your process been like with your recording sessions and just the multiple recordings that you've had?
Well, this will be our fifth, but only released three. This one is different, being that I didn't do the bulk of the writing on this one. I wanted to get a different taste and different just different styles added to what we were doing. So I reached out to my bros and different friends and different writers that are accomplished at what they're doing, just to kind of horn in on what we were looking for. You know, they asked me what style, what was I feeling. I just gave them an era. I love all gospel music, especially choir music. And I love all eras, but the early 2000s just was different, right? And so I just really kind of wanted that vibe. And so that's kind of what we did. Yes, the budget definitely will stress you out. However, thanks be unto God, we met our budget before ticket sales because we were working. Because
Ooh.
God has blessed me with some soldiers, some warriors that understood the assignment, and they got on it. So you know that stress of finances and all that stuff. I thank God that was over 2 weeks ago. It ended 2 weeks ago, and now the week of, yes, we are getting flooded with, hey doc, you got a VIP ticket? You got any more? And I'm like, well, I've been telling y'all to get to VIP. They sold out. I can't have the whole church be VIP. Because anybody that knows me know my heart is I would have the whole church be VIP because I love everybody and I want everybody to feel important and or get a good seat. But it's limited when it comes to that. So, but finding the right yin to your yang with your vision is very important. Someone that's not going to give you a hard time with what God has given you. I'm not going to pay nobody to fight with to do what God has given me to do, and you my producer, but you pushing back and everything I want to do, you giving me hard time. No, 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 no. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So you got to find someone that's going to be in sync with what your vision is, even if they offer a different point of view. Someone that's open enough to still understand this is the vision. You know, I've had in the past, and this wasn't necessarily dealing with recordings, but just dealing with my vision of things. I've had in the past where people wanted me to downsize my choir to a like Kirk Carr type of group, and that's fine for some. That's not what God has given me. So I'm not going to change my vision because you're saying that the industry wants this, and this is the way things are turning, and all of that. And I know what God called me to. So you definitely got to make sure you hold on to your vision when you're planning a recording, whether it be studio, live, because there's a difference between studio and live. Some people they can do studio or live. They're not going to change vocally if they're able to, execute. I'm more of a live person. I do studio, but I get real robotic. It's like those people that can't take pictures because the minute they take a picture, they just frown the wrong way. Or when I get in the studio, it's difficult for me to get organic. I haven't found that tap, that I can tap in. Now it is definitely cheaper to do it in the studio. And definitely you get it done, you can go back and fix it and all that. So what we did the pre-production stuff already. So that's already done. I ain't got to try to that. And they can tell you after the big shebang of the recording, you got to try to find these black people and hunt them down to beg them to come get back in the studio because they didn't became wonderful because they had one good night at a session. So we don't have to worry about that this go round. So my process is, like I said, holding on to what your vision is, definitely meeting the budget, and not being so closed off that you got to write everything, you got to be on everything, it got to be this type of way because we're greater together.
I love it. So this question is, Darnell, you're going to have the answer, but Patrick, what songs has Darnell written for you?
So on the Ready project, he wrote Overcomer.
Okay.
and he wrote the single Without You. And then I came back. And then I came back on another project that's soon to release, and I redid Thank You, that he did with Excelsior. Oh, one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
And y'all singing it too.
All three of those songs you just named are like my top, like they're my
Darnell writes heavy. And for everybody that's watching, hit him up if you need that take you through the storm, or you need that vibe, or that summer feel. Whatever you need, he got you.
Yeah.
Okay, and Anthony, how many songs has Darnell written for us for AM/PM? I'm sorry.
This will be my first one, because he's been so busy that it's been difficult to track him down when it comes to doing this thing that we call music. Because I've been a fan for a long time, but we're just now being able to cross paths. I think he's exhausted me enough that I can actually get him on the phone. And now he wrote this hot one for y'all. It shall come to pass.
I knew it. I just wanted you to say it.
Yeah, it's fire. It's fire. Y'all gonna love it.
And we barking down on that. I just
now I heard I got a clip of rehearsal.
Okay.
Anthony sent me a clip of y'all rehearsal, and I y'all screaming on that joint. I can't wait to hear it.
Okay, and then Jamar, I'm confident that he's written for you as well, right?
I've known Darnell the longest. I probably know Darnell the best out of this entire.
I already know where this is going.
I've known Darnell the longest. I know him the best. We have traveled the world. We've been to New Orleans. We've been to Bayou Classics. We've been everywhere across. We've been to Canada. We've been everywhere. Darnell has not written me, not one selection. He hasn't written me one song. And my heart is broke.
I ain't gonna start nothing. I'm sorry.
As a matter of fact,
this choir hurts.
We spoke about this a couple of days ago. Then we
literally just had this conversation a couple of days ago.
We were in Arizona. We were all over this world. He hadn't written me no song, but I have sang a lot of his songs. I've sang, I've been with Excelsior and the Remnant, so I've sang a lot of his songs. So
Jamar actually led a song on one of our projects, and he always asks me about. He keeps saying, "When are we gonna do my song?" He keeps asking about that.
because
I gotta go find it.
My song saved it. It literally, like when I sang that song, was like 1,000 angels crying. So it literally was a song, but he didn't choose it. So that's on him.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that still works because. So Darnell, what's your process with writing, since you have written a song that everyone has either recorded or led on? What's your process? What's your writing process? What was your process with Overcomer?
Okay, so my writing process is different. It's not like a set thing. Sometimes I can hear the melody and I'll get a chorus, and then I don't get the rest of the song for 3 months. Mm-hmm. Or I get all the music. I can get a whole arrangement of it and have no lyrics, and then it comes later on, or it all just happens all at once. It just depends. But like Overcomers, actually, originally I was writing that originally for Hez, and I got it in too late. Mm. So I was sitting on it, and I actually had sent the song to B Chase, mm-hmm. and he recorded it, but he did it a different way. Mm-hmm. Which is great. That was great. Their interpretation of it was great. And I was like, DW, let me tell you something about DW, Patrick and DW. Let me tell you something.
Talk about it.
The first time I got hipped, I was on YouTube, scrolling on YouTube, and I heard this choir. They was in white. No, he had a white suit on, and they was doing "We adore you, Lord. We worship you, for you're worthy to be praised." And I was like, "Who is this choir?" I was like, I didn't know who. I said, "Who are they?" Because they are screaming. I said, "Yeah, I definitely would love to do something with them. And so me and Patrick connected, and he hit me up. Was like, so I was like, yo, I sent him that. First I sent them Without You, and then I sent them Overcomers, and I was like, I know they gonna embark on this. They're gonna really go hard on it. That's how that came about with that. But a lot of the songs, again, it's just, it could happen. It just depends. Like, I could be driving down the street and see a stop sign and something comes up. I don't know. It just happens that way. There's not really a set formula or process. What I do believe in is that the songs should have some biblical tie to it. I believe that whenever we do a song, whether we talking about an experience, that the song should somehow tie to the Word of God.
Absolutely.
I do believe that, just like the song "It Shall Come to Pass," like that.
Talk about it.
It's a setup. It talks about what we believe in and our faith and all that, but we just standing there and talks about we believe that it shall come to pass. If he said it, he'll do it, right? It shall come to pass. So,
I said
the drive. It's the drive. It's the drive for me.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing with the songwriting. That's what it is, and I'm just honored to be a part of this project. I'm honored. I never take for granted being able to write for an artist, whoever they are. I never take it for granted. So I count it an honor to be a part of this project, and I'm just praying nothing but blessings over it, the favor of God on it, and it just touches and reaches the masses. So yeah.
Thank you. Patrick, can you tell us what was your experience like, of course, with recording, I don't even know what the correct term is, the Voices of Fire show?
Oh, that was a very different experience from what I was used to. So much went into that. First of all, when they were taping the show, out of the entire cast, I was the only one that had a full-time job. So it was like trying to find pockets to take me. So I found myself having to give them my lunch hour, or they were coming to my job, or a lot of times I was taping late at night, and we ended up being there 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, all because of me, because I had to wait till I got off. But nevertheless, with reality TV, it's not scripted, but it's scripted. So they have an idea of basically where they want it to end up, right? And I remember us taping, and at this point, we've gone past the audition piece, and the choir is together. And as a director, I'm in concert mode. I'm trying to put together the debut concert. But because this is what I do, I'm not thinking that I got to share along the way how you do this and what's going on. So the producers stopped me just like, yeah, so what are y'all wearing? Yeah, so what are you singing? I'm just like, would y'all get out of my way? I'm trying to put together a concert. And I'm thinking they're trying to be picky. And they're like, no, we just want to capture this on the camera. We can't just have you go from auditions and the next day you got a concert.
Right.
You got to see the process. So for me, that was the biggest thing, was like really trying to, I guess, make yourself audible on vulnerable on camera to the point where you're exposing it and doing the things. But it was a rewarding experience, just being able to work with people that weren't necessarily Christian, people that had never sang gospel music before. Because let's be clear, a lot of those singers that came, they realized Pharrell was connected to it, and they were just trying to make something happen for themselves. And they come and they're told, oh, well, yeah, I mean, something can happen, but you're singing gospel music now. And it's like, okay, come by here. It was great. And a lot of them, they still talk to me. They hit me up from time to time. They're all over still making it happen. And it was just really a great experience. It let me see firsthand just how universal music is, number one, and then how powerful gospel music is in itself. Yeah.
That's dope. I love it. So Jamar, can you tell me how important is the thread of like your friendship, excuse me, with your fellow indie artists or because I really appreciate the fact that anybody that I have reached out to just to be a part of this platform, I didn't get any pushback. I wasn't gonna see my manager. It wasn't any of it. Was simply yes. And so that just let me know that, like Patrick, you could tell who deals with people for real because there was literally no pushback. So in this capacity in ministry, where this is totally different than what we do at our local churches, you know, why is this type of support and friendship important?
It's very important because there's a lot of, and I'm going to use my brother Patrick's word. We talk all the time, but there's a lot of shady people out here. There's a lot of shady artists. But Anthony, everybody here knows that I'm very
transparent.
I'm very transparent, and I have to try to practice to make sure that my filter is on. However, there are very few legit artists who are loyal in this industry, that you can just call and call your brother. And I can honestly say that these individuals on here, I can call any time of night. I can be transparent. I can be myself, and I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about me telling them. I don't have to worry about having a bad day and worrying about it being leaked out to anybody.
Right.
I can be 100% transparent with these dudes on here, my brothers on here, and that is hard to come by because somebody's either trying to pick your mind to try to steal your members, or trying to steal your songs, or trying to steal your production ideas. And I mean, I can be transparent with anything, and they can give me 100% feedback, and that's very important to have these days because again, there's a lot of shady people out here, and you can't trust them. You just can't trust them. You can't. You can't be vulnerable around them because they'll take your kindness for weakness. So yeah, it's very important to have strong relationships with your fellow peers. But use your discernment to know who to talk to and what to talk to who about. If that makes sense. So yeah.
So that's the road to the recording. That was really, really good. But you think you having basic conversation and they got a whole nother agenda.
There's a whole nother agenda.
Well, you know, I call them show bros. They ain't your real bro. They just the show bro. They do that showbiz talk. All right, Top. What up, Top? You know, yeah.
Patrick, what about you? Why is this dynamic relevant and important to you?
Because as Jamar said, a lot of times you never know what you're gonna get, and people are very good at being political. They're very good at what I like to call throwing rocks and hiding hands. And when you get people that are genuine, you need it, because the more successful you are, the higher you go. It really does get lonely. And if you're not prayed up, if you're not secure, you'll be paranoid, thinking that everybody is out to get you. So when you have people that are truly your brothers, your sisters, or your friends in the industry, and they put music aside, Jamal would irritate the crap out of me because he'll call me just acting stupid. But I love it because when he's calling me, it's not Patrick Riddick, the choir director. It's not Jamar, the choir director. We just goofing off. Me and McGahee, we work together in a national church. When he shows up, it's not Patrick Riddick and Divine Worship. It's not Anthony McGahee at AM PM. It's just Patrick and Anthony serving our national church. I've sat in the theater at Darnell Davis's house and just kicked back and watched a movie and chill, until it was time for me to go to the airport. And that's important because you need people that'll keep you sharpened, that'll keep you encouraged, keep you on your square. And at the end of the day, I appreciate what you do musically. I respect what you do musically, but I ain't even on that type of time right now. You just my bro. You're my bro, and I want to make sure you're good. And that's an amazing feeling because whenever I've shown up on any program with any of these guys, I never had to feel any kind of way. because I know just as hard as I'm pushing them on, I want them to kill the people. I know they want me to kill the people genuinely as well, and that's just it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Founder, what about you? Why is this so important?
Definitely. It's rough out here for choirs in general. The industry had decided what they thought the new face of this era should look like, and it was not choirs. So, it's stupid for us as choir directors, leaders, to fight amongst ourselves for the one carrot that the industry is dangling,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if we work together or connect at least on a level that is agreeable, we can go further. Like when I go to everybody's stuff, everybody that I can support. If I can't get there, if they coming somewhere close, like Pat, they came to Chicago, and I was right there with my camera, fan, just getting it all. I went to Donnell and them, their reunion anniversary concert. I was right there catching everything. Jamar, they just had something in Nashville, and the day before or the day after, Nate Bean had something. I was right there. I go, because it rejuvenates me, right? They inspire me, in a world where there's not a lot of inspiration for what I do,
Mm-hmm.
right? It used to be in Milwaukee, we had a lot of choirs. Right now, there's only two, myself and another choir that's older that doesn't really do as much as we do. So there's not a lot of inspiration here for choir directing and all of that stuff anymore. Because of course we had Dr. Valerie Davis Carter who would direct any choir under the table. You know, she just she so growing up under that, seeing that was so impactful. But she's pastoring, she's running industry stuff and all. So I don't get to see all of that anymore here. So when I go see my bros, they charge me up, and when I get back, I get my choir in the headlock. Like, listen, we gotta get out here. Y'all don't understand what they doing. The level of what they're doing, it charges me, and it's not even a competition. It's I've seen them kill. I know we can do this too. Let's do this. Let's do that. So it just rejuvenates me. So I go to everything I can just to get my feel. So when I come back, I can know what to get my people what fits and what don't fit, what this work that don't work with, figure it out. Same way when I go with Ricky and New G. I watch him. He used to talk about me all the time, talking about he calls me McGahee. Brother McGahee is all up in my nostrils on every word, hanging on every word that he, given. The first rehearsal I went to, that's where I got the saying from. He said, y'all want to walk this carpet, you're going to help lay it. I picked that stuff up watching them, and it charged me. So it's important to have somebody you can look up to so that you can actually have something to try to strive for.
That's good. That's good. Thank you. Darnell, why is this brotherhood important to you?
I think all these brothers have kind of hit it. What I would say is, let me say it like this. There are people who are industry, and then there are people who are ministry. There are people who are industry, and then there are people who are kingdom.
That's good.
And what you need in this is you need that ministry, kingdom-minded brotherhood in this industry to function and move in this industry. This industry, it doesn't love you back.
Yeah,
it don't love you back, and people are, as has been said, people are shady. People are sneaky. People are shady. People really don't want to see you get ahead. People really don't want to see you you shine. It's like if you shine, it's got to be because of them, or if you shine, it's like you can shine, but it can't be more than what I'm doing. Type of thing. You need brothers that can say that you can be yourself around, be real around, but also brothers that are there, brothers and sisters, but that are there that can encourage you and help you. Because here's the thing, the reality of it is, I don't always want to do this. Let's just be real.
Mighty God.
Always wanted people. The choir sometimes don't understand what it took for the leader or the director to come and just to show up at a rehearsal, at an engagement, all the things that go into place. And sometimes we're literally like, we don't want to do this, but we need to have that brotherhood, that support that can say, no, we're going to keep going. Come on, I'm going to pour some strength into you. We're going to give you some encouragement. I'm going to help you. I'm going to push you along the way so that you can fulfill your purpose, so you can fulfill your destiny. So, so that's why this is important, because we draw strength from one another. We draw strength from one another. We're inspired from one another. I went to Jamar's recording in Nashville, and they sang. When I tell you, they sang like it was no tomorrow.
Mighty God.
I mean, it was great. And I sat back as a proud big brother, just looking, going like, that's dope, because he's really doing his thing. And I was proud of him. When I listened to DW, I listen to them. I'm telling you, I'll be online watching them. I still got to get the VA so I can see it. But Pat put that on. He put me out on there on Facebook. But when I watch them, I'm inspired by watching them, listening to the sound and the technique. I like gutsy choirs. Like DW, they give me guts. I love that. Give me some fullness. Same thing with Praise Motivated. Same thing. Like when I hear y'all sing, it's just, I remember when I was playing with Ricky and we did the thing in Milwaukee, and you all sang with New G, and I was like, man, y'all, I love it. I love it, and it's just inspiring. It helps each of us, so that's why it's important. We're inspired, but we also draw strength from one another. Because this thing, if we just be honest, it can be draining. It can be frustrating. It can be, and let's all be real. Sometimes we come into these rehearsals and y'all, the choir, y'all don't be giving what we trying to pull out of y'all. Y'all making us work harder than we need to work. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Lord.
Your amen corner is a little too strong.
So it could be frustrated, but we need a sounding board. Sometimes we need to just talk. Aside from just the choir and the music stuff, we need to just talk some personal stuff. Bro, this is what I'm dealing with right now. Bro, this is what's happening right now. So that's why those things are all important.
Thank you so much. So we got about 8 minutes. So I got two more questions. Jamar, I'll start with you since you are the youngest. The road to the recording, and we kind of talked about what's not so pretty, right? But I'm pretty sure on the other side of the production, it's always worth whatever that chaos may be. So can you tell us, out of your musical career, what would you consider your greatest accomplishment?
I would say my greatest accomplishment is to keep going, is that I decided to keep moving. Because to what Darnell and kind of what Patrick alluded to is difficult. And for me, living in Minnesota, then in Indianapolis, and then in Nashville, I always look at the other choirs and I'm like, they can, they're able to call that their city. I mean, they're able to, and I have not been able to, kind of say, this is my city. I'm always coming in as a newbie to the city. So the fact that I'm able to manage a choir in multiple states, multiple cities, manage people wanting to give, members wanting to, pay their assessments, sometimes not wanting to pay it, and then 98% of that money coming from my pocket, on top of me having to live, on top of me having to pay a mortgage, on top of me having to, still live a daily life and survive. My biggest accomplishment is to wake up and say, I'm still here and that I'm still pushing. We're still traveling. I'm still doing things for myself. I have a healthy work-life balance. Things like that. That's my biggest accomplishment with doing all of this.
Thank you. Darnell, what would you say your greatest accomplishment has been?
It would kind of be the same. Not giving up. when I started Remnant, someone told me, go back to Excelsior. When I left Excelsior and started Remnant, someone told me it won't last long. You'll be back.
Wow.
And I said, okay, and I mean, it's not anything bad, but that was just this one person in particular said this. And I was like,
They probably told me the same thing down there.
that
That person told me
Y'all
the
can
same
text me the
thing.
name. Y'all can text me the name.
Right. So I was told that it wouldn't last. But the fact is here we are now, Stellar Award, Stellar Award nominated, Dove nominated, Grammy nominated. We kept going. We've had the opportunity to sing on some great, amazing projects. And we're still going 20 years strong and still going. So that would be the greatest, that would probably be one of my greatest accomplishments, that we're still here and we're still going and we're still going strong. So,
thank you. Patrick, what about you?
Very similar to what my brothers have shared. I think the biggest thing, number one, is not getting swallowed into trying to be the gatekeeper or the king of your local place. Where I am, it can be real crazy, and I try to tell them all the time, I'm like, if you keep concentrating on trying to compete with one another and outdo each other, then you're not even giving yourself an opportunity to be exposed and for others to learn of who you are on a national scale. And so I think my biggest accomplishment was learning that early in the first 5 years, that there was so many more eyes and ears that needed to know who Patrick Reed Divine Worship was outside of 757 Virginia. Two would be lasting 25 years, like what they said. While they said we wouldn't make it, they called us churchy. We always wore robes. We didn't do a lot of fancy outfits and stuff. Just who we were. And then number three, creating something viable and a legacy that I built that I could share with my daughter. It meant something Sunday night to be able to have my daughter stand beside me, 8 years old, and she direct the song, leaving something. So that for me, that's it. Stellar nominations, all that and kind of stuff. That's great, but just those small things for me, because I never thought I'd go this far. I didn't even plan to go this far.
Gotcha. Thank you. Founder, what about you? What's your greatest accomplishment? I don't know that I've ever asked you that. What you would consider?
I would say, definitely, like you said, lasting. We've been together 28 years. When others stopped, I kept pressing and being consistent. Even when the blueprint kind of got blurry because those that had the way quit. I kept going and had to kind of make it up as I went, figure it out as I went, becoming a place where people can come to be healed. I'm often told that the way I love on people is why they do what they do, because I don't come with a hidden agenda. I don't come with a intent on trying to get what I can get out of you and all this and all that. I just want to love on you because to me you're amazing. And because you're amazing, I want everybody else to see how amazing you are. So I try to create a platform to help you, so that approaching that also, I would say, I never thought in a million years people out of state would want to be in my choir. People, God has blessed me. And every time they ask me, I thought they were just playing, joking, like whatever. And when they would send money in for roads, the roads ain't cheap. They send $200 cash app. I'm like, oh, you might be serious. People from Alabama and Mississippi and Texas. I'm all the way up in Wisconsin. People in Illinois and Detroit and Iowa, wanting to be a part of what I'm doing. It says that God's hand is on me and that I'm humble enough to follow whatever He's doing.
I love it. Thank you. So, Patrick Riddick, When you come to an AM PM production, recording, concert, shabam shabow, what is AM PM known for? What do you expect to see?
The Lord reigns and bless. Let the Lord of my salvation, let the Lord, GAWD.
That's it. That's how you spell it.
He's asking you. No, but AMPM has been very consistent, number one, in just choir decorum. We're in a time where choirs, though, people don't know how to act in church and in a choir. And we were coming up, choirs were supposed to be synonymous with like an army. You know, I came up in HBCU culture. Mm-hmm. You didn't cut lines on the marching band. Everybody did the same thing. And every time I see AMPM, whether they got a little bit of them that day for this gig or the whole, it's the same presentation. It's in order. It's decorated. They're gonna sing. We ain't even got. They sing. I've never known them not to sing, but I always pay attention to how they act. That goes a long way with me. I've never seen them act crazy. I've never heard anything about them, which is really important in this day and time. Mm-hmm. And that goes a long way because before we ever hear you sing, we're going to hear about you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I've never heard anything raggedy about them. And I praise God for that. So when I go to a production, I expect decorum. I expect that they're going to sing. I already know my brother is going to chop, and it's going to be a class act every single time.
Wow. Thank you. Darnell, when you come to an AMPM production, what is AMPM going to give you? What are you expecting?
I'm expecting a consistent sound. They are going to give a consistent sound. And it is very true to what Patrick was saying about choir decorum. And what I call choir etiquette. Mm-hmm. Yes. Not just in like before they see, but like in this watching you, like how everybody moves the same. Everybody's hand, everybody. It's like this is what's supposed, and everybody's involved and invested in what's happening in the moment. So I'm expecting that, and I'm expecting that consistent, that full sound that y'all give, that us Midwest can now. I know Pat's out on the east, but he out there, but the Midwest.
But it's only because I admire what y'all do in the Midwest. My Midwest choir on the East Coast.
Yeah, but that Midwest sound that we have, and I'm gonna tell you, it's nothing like it. There's choirs that's trying to get it, but it's nothing like the Midwest choir. It's just nothing like it. Yeah.
Nothing like it.
I agree. Jamar, what do you expect from an AMPM production? What are they going to give?
It's going to be one consistent sound. I'm always looking for the Lord. I'm always looking for that, but I don't know. I don't know if you all are going to do that this weekend, but that's one of my favorite songs. Consistency. Uniforms on point, robes on point, Anthony on point. I remember when we did How Sweet the Sound the first year, that Anthony almost hit it. the first year, where were we at? Detroit?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
we were in Detroit. And that me and Anthony know some funny stuff about that whole entire event, but that's why I put thank you, Lord. But that time
he's working on you. He is working on you.
Did he?
Oh my
God. Did it, didn't he? He did it.
He did. He did that thing.
I remember walking into the Fox Theater, and Anthony was doing their sound check, and I almost had a nervous breakdown, panic attack, because I'm like, they are so on point, they are so uniform, they are like. And I have to come after that. Like my MD had to literally, I remember Maya Buckner, some of my members had to kind of slap me out of it. Like, Jamar, wake up. Like I was, because that's how on point you guys are always. You guys are always on point. So I'm expecting you all to be uniformed with your outfit, with your vocabulary, all of the above. So it's gonna be great. So yeah.
Thank you. So I'll let anybody hop in. This is gonna be my last question. Well, no, last request. Last request, if you can give an encouraging word to Anthony, and then also tell the people why they need to be in the room for this recording. It's literally non-negotiable at this point. So whoever wants to hop in can.
Anthony, do what you do. Do what you do all the time. Don't let the faces of the people um discourage you or encourage you. Just basically keep your face to God. You know what I mean? And just do what you do. Do what you do. And you all need to be in the place. You need to be in Chicago, getting your tickets. If you haven't gotten your ticket yet, get it now. And be in the place. Be in Chicago. If you're not in Chicago, you are in the wrong city. You're at the wrong place at the right time. So
thank you.
I want to say this. I know, and I'll let Pat go. I want to say this. You know what the assignment is. God has already given it to you and instructed you. Carry it out now. Carry it out and watch God move in a way that you have not experienced him before. Set the bar high, and for those in the area to have to come and be like, whoa, we got some work to do, which I know y'all will do. Set the bar high, but first and foremost, complete the assignment that he's giving you for that night. That's the key. And not only that, it is a concert, it is a live recording, but ultimately it is a worship experience. And allow God to move. We take what he's and we offer up to him, and then he breathes on it, right? We want to take what you prepared, give it to him, let him breathe on it, and stand back and watch what he does.
Thank you. Oh, why should the people be in the building?
They should be in the building because it's going on, and that's the place to be. That's where you need to be at. Like, if you're not there, then you definitely are missing out. You will miss the experience, and I don't think this is an experience you want to miss. So be in the building.
Thank you, Patrick.
You know, when I was little, deviled eggs is what us Black folks that didn't have a whole lot of money prepared when we were trying to entertain people.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed that deviled eggs have become such a hot commodity. You could go to a high-end restaurant and get deviled eggs as an appetizer. Mm-hmm. There are people that host parties that may have a deviled egg bar or a macaroni and cheese bar. He's saying, Pat, what are you saying? The choir is back in high demand. People are putting choirs on events and in places that ordinarily would not be so, or is not even required, and they want you to authentically be yourself, whether people know Jesus, know gospel music or not. So with that in mind, be encouraged, because what you're doing, Anthony, is needed, it is required, and it is not only just required and needed, but it is desired. And for everybody else, you need to be in the building, because we take for granted what God already gave to us naturally. And it shouldn't be that we're able to go overseas and the Europeans and everybody else, Brazilians or whoever, they're gawking and falling out over what God gave us naturally here in the U.S. I don't care if you've been knowing them all your life. I don't care if you've never heard them before. Buy a ticket and get to that concert, because it's our responsibility to keep this thing going.
Thank you.
And we want some deviled eggs, Anthony. Can you make sure you have us some deviled eggs at that concert, please? If there's a room just for the directors, please, we need some deviled eggs, please. Thank you, Patrick.
Period. So you've heard it. I want to say thank you to this amazing group of writers, artists, directors, choir masters, friends. Anthony McGahee and Praise Motivated will be having a live recording this Saturday, May 31st in Chicago, Illinois. All planes, trains, megabuses, Amtrak, everything gets you to Chicago. It's a major hub, and it's oftentimes inexpensive to get there. So you can drive, you can catch a ride, Uber, whatever you need to do. We will be at Trinity All Nations Church, 9600 Vincennes Avenue.
Historic.
Historic.
In Chicago, Illinois. Doors open at 3. The concert starts at 4. Tickets, I think this is the last day that you can purchase your tickets on Eventbrite. Tomorrow night is the last day that you can purchase your tickets on Eventbrite. Outside of that, VIP is sold out. Outside of that, you will have to purchase at the door, and it's just a tad bit higher. So go ahead on and complete your ticket sales tonight. I fell in love with this conversation. I'm super excited. Kudos to you all. And I'm so sorry. I do need one more thing from you, Anthony. I'm going to let you close out, but I do need one more thing from each of you. Please tell us about your latest projects, what you guys are working on, and where we can find it. And anybody can hop in.
Well, I'll start. Had a live recording 2022. We're doing a song called He's My Rock that is doing amazing across the country. We will be releasing that next month. Thank the Lord. Featuring Adrian Lewis Freeman from Risen. She sings
Mighty God.
View That City with Risen. So she's doing an amazing job. So expect something from us next month. So thank God it's finally here.
Thank you. And you're on all streaming platforms?
All streaming platforms. All streaming platforms, and also follow me on all, social media, Jamar Esau. Follow my group, Triad for Christ, TRIAD 4 Christ. And yeah, that's it.
All right, perfect. Thank you. All right, Patrick. Okay, go ahead. No, that's fine.
Oh, so we have 2 singles out from the actual reunion that we just recorded in September. One is called My Everything, and then we have the single Heaven. I actually redid a song I did with Terrell Ramsey back in the day called Heaven, and you got Lena Bird Miles on that. That's featuring her on there, so that's available on all streaming outlets. So yeah, Jamar. You can follow me IG, Facebook, Darnell Davis Music, both on there. TikTok, if you do TikTok, I'm still trying to figure it out. But that's what's up.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
I think I'm too old because I still haven't figured out my TikTok yet.
Me too. I just go on there when they send stuff and I can't post. I don't know. Yeah.
But y'all know, y'all can find me on all social media. Patrick Riddick Live, my website, patrickriddick.com. I'm in 3 cities. I'm in Indianapolis, I'm in Virginia, and I'm in Memphis. You can find me there. We have our chapters. The last single I put out was Jesus Is With Me. But you can expect the full project titled A Song for Every Worshiper 2 coming out this year in the fall. And then we're also going to release a single from what we cut for this 25th anniversary, actually at the end of the summer. So thank you so much. Just keep your eyes and ears open. You'll see me on social media on my website for how to get it.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining us. Founder, go ahead and close us out.
Okay, well, thank you, my bros. I appreciate and love you all. Y'all know that. I want to invite everybody to come out to the recording. It is going to be a historic moment in time. And Patrick already knew once you said Trinity All Nations. Trinity All Nations is the church where they recorded Are You Ready? Are you ready? They recorded that there. The bishop that wrote that song, he's also going to be in the house in the audience as well. And this will be the first gospel artist from Milwaukee, Wisconsin to ever record live in Chicago. As close as Chicago is to Milwaukee, it's only an hour and a half away. No one else has ever recorded from Milwaukee in Chicago. So it's going to be a epic moment in history, and you just don't want to miss it. You just don't want to miss it. So, yeah, get your tickets.
Eventbrite.com, ways to give.
Ways to give. If you just want to donate, you can hit us up at Cash App, $AMPM Sing, no S, or you can hit us if you have Zelle at ampmbookinginfo@gmail.com.
All right, perfect. So thank you all for joining us tonight. We love, respect, and appreciate you all. To all of our audience members, thank you. I ask that everybody still like and share this live. We will be back tomorrow with our last series on the road to the recording. I want to remind the PMs that we are consecrating for the rest of the week, and so that will start tomorrow. We love everybody. We appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good night. Good night.